What's up guys, it is Chris back with another watch unboxing. Today we are looking at Szanto again. They sent over a few watches for review. This is their big Pilot, and essentially same packaging as the officer's watch that I recently unboxed, and I'll put a link to that unboxing above. This packaging is basically printed. It's a box, cardboard box with a drawer. Inside the drawer, of course, you get a watch, and you get a booklet with information on the actual watch itself and warranty information, so operation manual and warranty information. And then of course inside you have a beautiful watch, and it's just like a canvas inside, sort of a foam lining, so to protect your watch. It's a nice little box, and I will throw it aside, and it just has some graphics on the outside about the brand. But definitely check out that other unboxing where I go into a little bit more depth on that. So here are the watches. They sent me over loaned me two to show you guys. They are both big Pilots. They are 46 millimeters across. One is in green. This is the green dial. It has a green calf strap. This is the black dial with a black calf strap. Both of them have very similar dials, except the black doesn't have a ring around that 24-hour indicator there at 9 o'clock. You have running seconds, center seconds on both of them, and a date window at 3 o'clock. Both of them are powered by the 8S Miyota automatic movement, as you can see from the back of the watch. They are decorated, so they aren't bad to look at, and you have a Szanto sort of a logo that is signed across the K1 mineral crystal. So both of these do get a flat K1 mineral crystal with anti-reflective coating. 46 millimeters across, 54 millimeters lug to lug is what I measured, and 13 millimeters thick. That's including the K1 mineral crystal. You have a very large onion crown on this, and there is a lot of different finishes on the case itself. So you have brushing on the bezel, then you have bead blasting on the case itself, and then on the backside you have brushing again. There really are no polished edges. The buckle itself is a very big piece of metal milled. As you can see, there's bead blasting on the bottom, and it's primarily brushed otherwise. So very large watches, very cool, inspired by 1930s Pilot's equipment. So originally Pilot's equipment, Pilot's clocks would be in their dashboard, very similar to what I have sitting here in almost every one of my videos. This is a vintage Elgin. It was a dashboard clock, an 8-day clock that a pilot during World War I would actually have on their dashboard during the early times of World War II. And then eventually that transitioned from a dashboard clock onto the wrists of pilots. So they were not small watches. That's why this is a 46 millimeter watch. And then you have a 54 millimeter lug width with a giant onion crown on it. It's sort of what this watch is about, what those watches were about. And when they made it onto pilots' wrists, they were large watches. And a very good example of this, and sort of what this watch is almost an homage to, is the Zenith Type 20. Zenith made, or Zenith, however you want to say it, make a pilot's watch, and it's a pilot's watch that they actually made in the 1930s and made it onto World War II pilots' wrists, and that was the Type 20. And I'll put some pictures of that watch, and you can see there's a striking resemblance to this watch. However, obviously, this is a lot more affordable than that Zenith. The Zenith, I believe, started around $6,000 or $7,000. This is right now actually on sale for $375, and then they have given Watch Chris viewers an extra discount if you spend over $100, a 25% discount. So this watch actually comes in under $300, which is an excellent price. And this is a very cool watch. It does have a K1 mineral crystal, as I mentioned, and that Miyota movement, which is an 8S, so you do not get hacking. It does hand wind. So under 300 bucks for what I think is a pretty interesting watch. I really like the green colorway. The actual strap is a little bit thinner than the black, but the black is very nice as well. They're both beautifully made leather straps on these, and very big, obviously, because this is a large watch, and you have that really nice buckle on here, a very substantial buckle for a substantial watch, obviously. So I definitely like the green colorway, but I like the black as well. And I like the color that they have chosen for Lume. This gets an old radium sort of color of Lume. I believe it is Super Luminova, and I'm going to do a Lume shot at the end of the video. Very quickly, I'm going to throw one of these on my wrist so you can see what it looks like on my 7.5-inch wrist. And I think you'll actually be pleasantly surprised. It doesn't wear enormous on my wrist. But very quickly, today I am wearing another Szanto. This is the Officer with that coined bezel edge. You have the 24-hour readout in small seconds. Just a really cool watch. 3 o'clock date as well. This wears very nicely and very comfortably on my wrist. They make a lot of very cool watches. I love the buckle on this watch. It's just a beautifully polished buckle, and it's signed. It's just beautiful. Just a really nice watch. And of course, you get that same movement, which honestly, I've been wearing this over the past few weeks, and I really genuinely like that watch a lot. And it gets a lot of compliments. So, the Pilot's watch. Let's throw this one on the wrist. This is, like I said, 46 millimeters. I have a 7.5-inch wrist, and those lugs just make it to the edge of my wrist. But you can see it doesn't wear enormously huge, but it is a very large watch. And if you're in the market for a large Pilot's watch, this is it. It's a very good price too, under $300 as I mentioned. But you can see it's not small. And it does have that K1 mineral crystal, so it is a flat K1 mineral crystal. A lot of people go crazy about a K1 mineral crystal, but I think at this price, at that sub $300 price, a K1 mineral crystal is acceptable, especially when you consider Seiko put a lot of K1 mineral crystals on watches that are way more expensive. They call it a hardlex. It's essentially a K1 mineral crystal. It's a hardened mineral crystal. So definitely something to consider if you're purchasing one of these, but a very handsome watch. And like I said, I would go for that green strap. I really like it. But I'll throw the black strap on my wrist as well so you guys can see how that looks. It's a little bit thicker of a strap. It's actually a nicer strap, I would say, because it has a leather. This is leather backed as well, but it's a black leather calf back as well on the black, and it's just really nice. But it is thicker, so it will take a little bit more time to break in. It is a beautiful strap though on here. On both of them, really, they have a beautiful strap. So the black looks really good as well, as you can see. So quick, I will do a Lume shot and then we will wrap up the video. The Lume does not disappoint. As you can see, it's extremely bright. They put a ton of Lume in those large indices, and those indices are sort of Art Deco, and then you have these beautiful cathedral hands. Those cathedral hands are completely lumed, as you can see, and they're equally as bright as those indices. Tons and tons of Lume. And I remember in the unboxing, in the quick Lume shot, and this is sort of like a Twilight situation, the Lume shot that I did with that Officer's watch, the Lume was extremely bright as well. I think that they are really paying attention to the amount of Lume that they're putting onto the dials. Like I said, this is Super Luminova. Very, very bright, and it is very, very nicely applied, very liberally applied. That's why you get that brightness, and of course, it's hanging on. So in the full review, I'll do a time lapse of Lume where I do a Twilight situation, then I do full darkness, and I wait 20 minutes in between the two. But like I said, you can see it's hanging on really well. It hasn't faded at all. And I've been talking for about a minute or two already. So anyway, tell me what you think of these watches in the comments below. I really want to hear from you guys. I think these are very cool. And I think these are at a really good price, sub $300. You're getting an automatic Pilot's watch, a big Pilot's watch that is inspired by some really cool watches from the 1930s, and obviously a very handsome watch. But I think you would need to be looking for a large watch because these are not small. Like I said, 46 millimeters, 54 millimeters lug to lug, and a 13 millimeter width. K1 mineral crystal and that 8S, so you're not getting hacking, but you are getting hand winding. And I think that's the case with most of these Szantos, but they do price them very aggressively. So that is always something that you need to consider. Anyway, like I said, add a comment below. I really want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. In the description below, I have some links. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it doesn't have to be the products that I've actually linked to. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Interrupt your Prime benefits. However, it helps support the channel, and I very, very much appreciate it. So if you could use those links, it's very helpful for the channel. Anyway, thank you for logging on, and I will catch you guys in the next video.